Hi, and welcome to 7 Cheap and Easy Ways to Get More Visibility and More Customers for Your Business. The presentation will get started here in just a few minutes. We're letting everybody get signed on and settled in here. So now's a great time if you need to go to the restroom or get a drink of water, finish up any last second emails. This is the right time to do it, and we'll get started here in just a moment. Thank you. Hi, welcome again to 7 Cheap and Easy Ways to Get More Visibility and More Customers for Your Business. If that's the presentation you were looking for, you're in the right place. And we've still got a number of people joining in here, so I'm going to give them just one more minute and then we'll get started. Okay, everyone, thank you again for joining me for the presentation today here 7 Cheap and Easy Ways to Get More Visibility and More Customers for Your Business. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you got a busy schedule, and thank you for choosing to spend some of your time with me here today. The presentation, just to give you some insights on logistics here. One, I will record the presentation, and I'll get a copy of that recording out to you in the 24 hours or so after the presentation. So you can sit back and relax, and you don't have to take any serious amount of notes because you'll get a chance to go through this again if you'd like at a later point. Um, Also, I will take questions at the end of the presentation. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and chat them in to the box that you see below this presentation. You can just type in your questions there and submit them to me, and I will answer as many as I can at the end of the presentation here. And finally, I won't take any questions actually during the presentation, just so you know, just to make sure we get through the whole presentation and everything stays on track. But I will answer them at the end. Okay? So let's go ahead and get going here with 7 cheap and easy ways to get more visibility and more customers for your business. Now, I work with a lot of small businesses, helping them market their business and get more customers. And what I hear from all of them and surveys that I've seen in larger magazines and other websites back this up, that the number one business challenge that small businesses face today, and 76% of small business owners say this, is the challenge of how to attract new customers, right? And this is the challenge that's keeping them up at night. Being an entrepreneur, running your own business, obviously there can be lots of stresses associated with that, lots of things to keep you up at night. But the number one thing for 76% of small business owners is how to attract new customers. Um, and there is obviously all kinds of ways of potentially marketing your business, and the ways of marketing your business are growing. It seems like by leaps and bounds every year with the creation of these all these new technologies and new means of marketing. So here's what you've tried as business owners and as small businesses. This is from a Bank of America Small Business Owner Report that was published in emarketer.com. And you can see here that the majority of small businesses really rely on word of mouth and customer referrals. 84% in April of 2012 and October of 2012, 87% were relying on word of mouth and customer referrals, which that makes a lot of sense. We all love customer referrals, of course. It's the nice, easy way to get new business. If somebody refers you a nice, warm, prospect to your business, it's a great way of it's a great way of getting that new customer. You don't have to advertise. You don't have to spend money on advertising. And of course, that person is brought to you by somebody who is already satisfied with your business, which can make all the difference. Number two here, But a huge drop off from number one is networking with other small business owners. And I imagine a lot of you have been a part of formal networking groups like BNI, or maybe you've gone and worked on your speaking skills at Toastmasters. And just about everybody is probably involved in some sort of chamber of commerce in some way or another. So, there's networking events like this. There's industry trade shows where we tend to get together and network with other small business owners as well. But you can see there, that's a good 20-point drop off, and maybe closer to 30-point drop off in October from word of mouth and customer referrals to that networking activity. And then following another 10 points or so below that is advertising, actually doing any sort of paid advertising. And then a good another drop to direct mail or email. And then finally, you can see their social media. So business owners and small businesses are trying a variety of things. You can see, though, it's heavily weighted towards just that word of mouth and customer referral. And, that is absolutely the case I find in most of the business owners that I work with, is that for the most of them, they have what I call a very passive approach to marketing, in that they are largely just hoping that referrals come to them. That's been a source of business for them over time, and it's something that they use to get their business off the ground pretty successfully, and then they just kind of stuck with that and didn't really invest in any new means of acquiring new customers. Those that have, I tend to see that it's a very I would call it inconsistent approach. They'll do some advertising, but maybe they'll advertise just once a quarter, or once every 6 months. They'll try a direct mail campaign, things like that, that are not really consistent, or sometimes really effectively planned over time. So we're trying all kinds of things, but is it paying off for you? Is it paying off for the small businesses around the country? And I ask my clients when I'm working with, do you have a consistent flow of new prospects or customers? Because that really is the lifeblood of a business, right? It's not just the occasional new customer. It's not just the passive kind of hoping that you get more referrals this month, but it's that ability to drive a consistent flow of new prospects or customers. And consistent really is the key word there, right? Because we all have high points and low points in our business, and we all have those months where it seems like everything is really rolling, and we get some good new customers and some new opportunities come our way. But then we also have those dry months where it seems like nothing goes our way. And if you want to grow a business consistently, then you have to get past that. You have to get to that point where you are able to predictably and consistently generate a flow of new prospects and customers to your business. The second question I ask is, are you able to do that at a cost that is sustainable, right? Because if you go out and do paid advertising, and there's all kinds of options for you out there, some of them much more expensive than others, some of them much more effective than others. So what you're doing may be working to bring you new customers in, but is it doing it at a cost that's really sustainable and affordable over the long term? And then finally, is your business achieving consistent growth? Okay, is your business achieving consistent growth? It's one thing to advertise and bring new prospects or customers to your business. It's another thing to convert those prospects and customers into consistent long-term business with you. So those are my 3 questions for you as well. If you can put a yes next to all 3 of those, then congratulations. I think that you're in a pretty special and rare crowd. But the far majority of you, I'm sure, probably feel like you can't put a check next to any of these, or maybe one of them. That's my experience in working with many business owners here over time. So what I'm going to share with you is, again, these 7 marketing strategies and tactics that you can apply to your business that are both cheap and effective. Now, cheap, there's various investments required, and depending on the nature of your business, some of those investments are going to be greater than others. However, when it comes to the cost of the marketing tactics that I'm going to share with you today versus some of the traditional marketing tactics that you may be familiar with of running, print ads in newspapers or yellow pages or running radio ads and things like that. These are definitely all much, much, much more affordable. Okay? So, tactic number one is to create videos. Okay? Videos online have become just an absolute sensation over the last 10 years or so. And you can see in this chart here, this is the growth in traffic of YouTube as compared to some of the other big sites that you may be familiar with: Amazon, MySpace, Wikipedia, Craigslist. Those are all major, major sites. But look at the huge, steep climb in traffic that YouTube shows there over time. It really is amazing. It's the third most visited site on the internet behind Facebook and Google, and it continues to grow very quickly. So video, you take this traffic and you combine it with the fact that video is now easier than ever to create, given that most of us on our phones now have really incredible video cameras, and you can go and buy a regular video camera for just a few $100s now. That's excellent. Videos really are easy to create, and they can be used by every single business out there. So the other major factor here, of course, is that consumers are watching videos like crazy. 75% of U.S. internet browsers watch online videos now. And again, that number continues to grow pretty darn quickly. So it really is a great way of engaging your prospects and customers online. And again, I've seen every type of business be able to take advantage of video. So let's talk about what video can do for your business. One, having a good professional looking video out there, it gives you instant credibility with buyers. People love video, so the fact that you have them, that you're engaging them with video, gives you excellent credibility. Branding. Okay? Videos are a great way to get your brand across and to communicate with your customers on a level that, having just text on your web page just really can't do. There's something, about the visual effect of video, the audio, the emotion that can be portrayed in the communication, the stories that can be told, that can really ignite your brand and take it to a new level. Again, beyond that just text on a web page can do. Search engine love. Probably most of you know, but some of you may not, that Google owns YouTube. Google bought YouTube for over $1 billion some years ago now, and Google absolutely loves YouTube. They obviously bought YouTube because they understood this massive trend that was going on in video creation and consumption. And they have all kinds of stats out there that prove that people tend to engage much more with video content than they do with text content on web pages. So Google loves to rank videos highly in the search engines. Okay? So by creating a video, you have an opportunity to get yourself ranked high in the search engines, above and beyond what most businesses are doing with just normal text-based websites. Okay, customer engagement. So I just mentioned that. Again, Google has all these statistics on the fact that people are more engaged with videos. And the more engagement, the more opportunity you have to turn those visitors into actual prospects and customers. Okay? And then action. Viewers are 85% more likely to purchase after watching a video. That comes from excellent marketing software firm called HubSpot. And that is amazing, right? That video has that much impact that they're 85% more likely to purchase after watching a video. And I think that speaks a lot to the power